have to activate it. Okay, perfect.
Okay. So I will finish off what I was saying. I don't know how much of it was recorded, but the concept here is that once we gain control of our brain, once we instruct our brain when we are thinking, when we are not thinking, probably the process is to stop the thinking, which happens instinctively, as I was discussing a few minutes ago, we are in meditation. There are different techniques to get into meditation. Zen meditation is what I have practiced very little, but Antonio has many years of experience. But there are other techniques as well, but these are techniques to get into meditation. Meditation is one state. And yeah, we will speak a lot more about it. So Antonio, would you like to introduce yourself?
Okay, I apologize. Sorry, the first part you were talking, I couldn't listen because I had an issue with my internet, but now I just listened the last part you were saying. Okay, okay, I am based in Colombia. I am a master instructor of Oxygen Advantage Master Instructor, and I am the director and founder of respironautas.com. And today I want to share with you a presentation about a basic vision I have about meditation and some things that are important, and sometimes we don't take them to be aware of that. Okay, so if you want, I can share my presentation. I'm going to. Okay, can you Anastasis? I cannot, but I cannot share the screen. You can you?
You would like to share your screen, please? I will make you a I was not prepared for that because I think I will have to make you a co-host, but let's see if we can figure that out. Okay, try again.
Okay, perfect. Let me see. Dos, share. Perfect. Moment. One moment, please. Okay. And yet, please. Perfect. Are you seeing my screen?
Yeah.
Can I see you?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay, let's go. So, meditation. Second. Meditation could be defined as a development technology of attention. It's the cultivation, protection, and care of attention. Attention is the sine qua non condition of consciousness. It's on the basis of any conventional cognitive faculty and also of consciousness and awakened consciousness. But attention requires a resting mind. We think meditation is the practice of quieting the mind, but we don't have a restless mind. We have a restless body. But it's restless just because we forget how our body really works and how to use it. More so in modern societies where the average adult has a body full of blocks, and stiffness. We forget our original and natural condition. So all we have to do is to remember. And why I say remember? Let me explain. If we are born healthy and complete, we are born with some of these original factory conditions. These original factory settings. We are born with a perfect posture. This is a 6-month baby, the age when we begin to sit. This is our original posture. And we also are born with biomechanically efficient and functional breathing. Let's see this video in a moment. Okay. A normal baby uses the appropriate muscles to exhale and inhale. And another thing we have is the ability to maintain the tongue in the roof of the mouth. You can see in this video. Let's see the tongue of the baby. If a baby is not crying or is not feeding, always has his tongue in the roof of the mouth, even when he's sleeping. Okay. Another thing we originally have is a total flexibility in our body. A baby is the enemy of any yogi. If you want, ask to Anastasis. And we are born with full confidence in life. Due to our big brain and unlike other mammals, we cannot complete our neural development into the womb of our mother because we could not be born. So we are born so vulnerable, we are totally dependent on others to nourishment, security, protection, and to learn and grow. So we are born with full confidence that life will take care of us. And we also are born with our original language. Somebody knows what our original language is? Okay. Our original language is silence. We are patient in silence in the womb of our mother. And then it takes us almost 2 years to start talking. We learn to speak, and then when we shut up, of course, we keep talking in our heads. That's a problem. And we are also born with the ability to enjoy anything, to enjoy the present moment. In short, we are babies to whom nature gives everything to become this adult. An adult in complete harmony and freedom in body, mind, and emotions, capable of feeling and enjoying life. This posture is not a coincidence, see? But it is estimated by science that between 5 and 8 years of age, we have lost almost all of these original factory settings. It's as if family, society, and culture formed us, and they took away our factory settings, and they put new information on us. Information more based on doing than on being, more based on survival, something we are experts on because we have been, as a species, doing it since our origins, since thousands of years ago. So we early lose all of this, and then we spend our lives desperately searching for what we have lost. So meditation is a technology, it's a powerful tool to restore our body-mind to the original factory settings, to our normal and natural condition. But we think meditation is a practice with the mind. But meditating is a practice with the body, and in the body, because your body is the most intelligent part of your mind. All your life happens just in one place. Every experience, every sensation, every feeling, emotion, or thought that you have occurs only in your body, nowhere else. We can distinguish between body and mind, but cannot separate them. it is an interaction of the organism. My Zen master says that we call the mind is just an operation mode of the nervous system. Our life is really determined by the way we perceive it. And what is the instrument we have to perceive and experience life? Is the body, right? And the system that allows us to perceive is our nervous system, led by the brain. The body is an extension of the brain. And the way the brain extends to the body is through the nervous system. And the axis of your nervous system and the axis of your life is your spine. That is the reason why let's start this journey by talking about your posture first than your breath. Because if you don't have a good posture, you cannot breathe and perceive reality well. And our natural posture is also the first thing we lose. What is the secret to have a good posture? Lucas, my son, explains it beautifully in his MasterClass. You can see the recording. In short, what it takes to have a good posture is a well-positioned pelvis. This is like your foundation, and your body knows that since the beginning. And if you have a well-positioned pelvis, your vertebrae gets to expand easily, and the muscles get to relax, and blood circulation gets better. But overall, good posture harmonizes the body and lets it breathe. Poor posture prevents the body from breathing well because it closes the body, compresses your diaphragm, your lungs, and all your vital organs. Simple way to say, if you have a bad posture habit, you are bending or pointing the horse. Not only you are blocking your breathing, but your vital energy too. So a good posture that is straightening our body is the first step to straightening our life. How we lost our original posture? It happens and begins very early in life. In the way we are carried, you see the tucked pelvis, and the way we are packed in poorly designed baby furniture. And then this is the age at which our neural pathways are getting set as to what constitutes sitting. So we carry those habits into adulthood where we continue to sit this way. I like to think of a habit as a helpful or harmful automatic behavior increasing over time. Time will magnify your habits. This is the reason it's common to see this kind of postures everywhere. Seems so comfortable. We are convinced that these are comfortable postures, but in reality, they aren't, because monkey posture, same as monkey mind. Now it's time to practice, and I want you to feel this in your own body. So slam forward for me, please. It's okay. And in that posture, take a breathing. Let it out now. Breathe in a little deeper and out. And now go ahead and set for me. So take a good posture, please. And take a nice breathing. Let it out. Good. Sorry. Please. Okay. In that posture, breathing deeper down and out. Notice the difference, the ease at which you are able to breathe air in and out in a good posture. But it's important you notice also how breathing became slower. That's so important to notice, to be aware, to understand why monkey posture induces a monkey mind. In a bad posture, diaphragm is blocked from pulling air into lungs. Would you probably notice that it was more difficult to breathe air in when you were sunk forward, when you are slumped? That's because your diaphragm was blocked from pulling air into your lungs. In this slanted position, the ribcage and sternum are pressing down against the diaphragm, and the abdominals are effectively shortening. So the body has to start working hard to breathe properly. This effectively weakens all of the primary muscles for respiration because they're overworking. You're not going to stop breathing as a result of a bad posture. Your body is too clever for that. The body naturally starts recruiting the secondary muscles, the backup emergency muscles, to help with the breathing process. This makes you breathe with upper part of the chest, inducing a habit. This activates unconsciously fight or flight response, our sympathetic response. I like to call it the alarm mode. Another aspect to bear in mind is we are the only species that works upright, that defeated gravity. When in our evolutionary process, we stand on our feet, we expose our most vulnerable part, our abdomen. And since then, we have had a big tendency to tighten in a permanent way the abdomen. One of the main and primary protective reflexes of the body is that. Unlike animals, which generally are able to restore the standard mode of functioning once the danger is past, humans often are not. We may find ourselves locked into the same recurring pattern of flight or fight response. We are facing the challenges of civilization with a nervous system designed in the jungle. In an unconscious alarm mode, with an unconscious way of breathing fast and superficial, and with a blocked and tense body as a result of a bad postural habit and the tendency to react permanently by tensing the abdomen, we are telling our body that it is not in a safe zone. Let's see how it works. I want you to see, a moment. I want you to take a good posture and to feel all your body. Feel your shoulders, feel your jaw, feel your face, feel all of your body. Just feeling. And now, pay attention to the abdomen. Relax completely the abdomen. And now feel what happens in your body, what happens in your shoulder, what happens in your face, in your jaw, in all your body. What happens when you relax the abdomen? Can you feel it? Now tense the abdomen again and feel what happens in your body. It's so important. When you relax your abdomen, all the body relaxes. That something is so important to have that in mind, because if we are working with ourselves and if we are working with other people, that is an important thing. Not just for meditation, is so important for breathing. So bear that in mind. Okay. Having a tense abdomen induces sympathetic response as survival mode. In survival mode, fulfillment is impossible. Plenitude is impossible. In this state, it's not possible. Be attentive, be confident, be joyful, be flexible, be calm and relaxed and peaceful. The brain needs to know what the body is doing. What the body does influences what the brain does. Of the 7 senses we have, the one that brain gives more importance, that prioritizes, is interoception. Interoception is the information that reaches the brain from the organs. Depending on what the organs do, the brain is activated in one way or another. And another very important sense is proprioception. Proprioception is the sense of self-movement and body position. How is my body outside, the posture, the gestures, the sensations. The brain interprets this information. If we are slammed, the brain activates the systems to be bad. In other words, most of the information our brain processes is afferent and passes first through its deepest, inner, and most primitive structures. And in this, the breath plays a primary role. In the brain stem, where the brain meets the spinal cord, there is a neuroanatomical structure called the Breathwork complex. This structure informs the brain every millisecond how I am breathing. If through the nose, if through the mouth, if fast, or if I am breathing slow, etc. And from there, that information ascends to different parts of the brain related to memory, cognition, and emotion. For example, when an emotion appears, to generate a response to that emotion, the brain takes into account how I am breathing. But since we can also modulate breathing voluntarily, those areas of the brain that are influenced by it increases their activity. This is through conscious control of breathing. We have greater access to those areas which are mainly the insula, the amygdala, the frontal cortex, and the orbitofrontal cortex. These zones have to do with the idea of who I am, with emotions, memory, attention, and the feeling of well-being. What are zones? But amazingly, it not only happens when we make changes in the way we breathe, it also happens simply by observing it, observing the breathing, by paying attention to it. So, paying attention to your breathing and your posture is paying attention to your life. So, if you want to get back to your original and natural condition, your factory settings, there is a simple process. Simple doesn't mean easy, but very powerful. Just stop, sit in a correct posture, calm down, relax your abdomen, breathe LSD, and let your body remember. And instead of thinking about life, begin to feel it. Because you are here to feel life, to live life, to let life live in you, expresses and manifests in you, not just to think and imagine it. Okay, that is my presentation. I'm going to excuse me, to stop sharing my screen. A second, please. Okay, I can. I don't know. I'm not. Zoom is not my my ability. Sorry. Okay. I want you to tell me 1 minute, please. I don't know how to.
There should be some features at the bottom where it should say stop sharing your screen.
Yeah.
Maybe there is a green button with an arrow that allows you to stop sharing your screen.
Yeah, but I cannot, I don't know why I cannot.
If it's not at the top, at the bottom, it might be at the top.
Can you do it for me? No.
I don't think so, no.
Maybe if you cancel me as a host, please.
Yeah, maybe that would work.
Okay. I apologize for my English. I almost never speak English. I study in English. I listen in English, but I don't need to speak English. So for me, it's a little difficult, but I hope you can understand.
Of course. Okay, I don't seem to be able to stop the
sorry.
The stop sharing. Okay, there you go. I managed to do it.
Now it's better. Do you want to say something, to do something? I have 2 or 3 things that I think is important to bear in mind when we are working with people and we are working with ourselves. Just simple things that are so helpful. You want
go ahead. Yeah, of course.
The one thing is about posture. Sometimes, or most of the time, we say people sit straight and feel that you have a cord pulling up you, and that's all. But there is a way I use to feel in myself and to help people to feel in their body the posture. It's so simple. You put your hands on the top of your head and just open here. You open and pull with the head your hands and relax the abdomen. Position well your pelvis is so important, and it's important to feel to have the feet plain on the ground. Okay. This is a simple way to feel, but hands have to be up, not behind, up in the head. Okay. Can you feel the posture? It's an easy way to feel the alignment of the body. And in this posture, it's so simple to breathe using the diaphragm, using the abdominal muscles. It's so easy because in this posture we are blocking the secondary muscles of breathing. Okay, for me it's so helpful. Another thing that is helpful is hands. This is so subtle, but for me it works very well with people and with me. It's different when you put your hands in this way. The breathing changes. Okay, so if you are sitting, if you put your hands in this way, so let's do it together. Put your hands palm face down and just feel the breathing. Breathe, just feel how do you feel the breath, how easy it is. And now, face up your hands and see what happens with your breathing. It's so subtle, but it must be easier to breathe this way. Change it again and feel what happens with this. Another way to feel it is just using a mudra. you do this kind of mudra. Can you see it? And you put your hands in your lap and then feel your breath. Just breathing and feel it. Now close these extended fingers. Close them and feel what happens with your breathing. Just feel it. Now open them again, extend the fingers and feel what happens with the breathing. Can you feel some difference? This is the chat. Okay. This happens because hands is more about the 40% of the brain is dedicated to hands. These are very amazing tools we have, and this has a big influence in the way our body works. So, what is the reason for a lot of mudras in the tradition from India, from Tibet, and from how you say it, Western? I don't remember. Sorry, but that's the reason of mudras. Okay, has a biological sense, a powerful biological sense. Okay. Another thing is when you are in the posture, you are sitting in a correct posture, and if you have the, let me, if I can show you, because I don't have a lot of space here. The feet, you have the feet here. So take a good posture and maintain the feet on the flat on the floor, and just feel the body. And then do this. This is so common to put the feet under the seat. Just do that and feel what happens in your body when you do that. It makes you feel your body tense. Get back to the initial posture with the feet playing on the floor and feel the difference. Okay? And the last thing, sorry. And the last thing I want to share with you is abdomen. Exhale again. And at the final of the exhale, relax the abdomen again. So you don't have to inhale. Just relaxing the abdomen, the inhale happens by itself. Think as your body as I don't know how to say it in English, but the old bicycles in England, for example, has a beautiful horns. It's something that you press and it horns, and then you just breathe, and the air enters by itself. Can you understand me that? That is the design of our body. We are mainly designed to exhale. We have a more powerful muscles to exhale than for inhale. So for light breath, for example, and for meditation, if you use the passive part of your inhaling, is so useful to produce a calm and a peaceful state. You can try it. I'm going to make a video about that because for me it's so difficult to explain in English, but this is a very useful trick to understand light breath, to understand passive inhaling, passive breathing, and to feel what happens in our body when we use this kind of breathing. Okay? And I think that's all. Anastasis, thank you so much for being here, and I hope this will be useful for you. Okay? Anastasis?
Hi, hi everyone. Hi, Antonio. Thank you very much for your presentation and covering so many different aspects of meditation. I would like to share. I think in many of the things that you covered, I would agree. In some things, I probably have a little bit more of a simplified approach.
Okay.
But in principle, I think we are in line. I want to raise a little bit, a few topics that I'd like to focus on when it comes to guiding people through meditation, initiating them, and I have, of course, followed them myself. And the first one and the most important one is that people that are interested in meditation, they would benefit a lot by making that part of their daily life. I think that there is nothing that beats frequency in terms of any practice. I would argue that the same thing happens with breathing. So, of course, there are many different breathing techniques and there are many different potentially approaches to working with hypercapnia and hypoxia, the two main pillars of breathwork, which I'm sure all of you are familiar. And for the sake of the video, I will pin myself, but it doesn't really matter. I will pin you back again, Antonio. I'm not sure how the video will come out at the end. So those of you that are already meditators probably I would imagine are already incorporating meditation on a regular basis in your life. But those of you that are interested and yet have yet to include it on an ongoing basis, I would say that it is important to start small, but make it regular. And the small can be 5 minutes. And I would suggest that don't overcomplicate things. In the same way that I would suggest you don't overcomplicate your breathing. I'm imagining that this crowd is already doing breathing exercises on a regular basis. And I would also imagine that a lot of your breathing exercises that you do are probably 1 to maximum 3 exercises. Now, I would not be surprised if some of you have a more bigger spectrum of exercises. I personally do 1 breathing exercise in a still position, and the remaining of my breath work will be during exercise. So maybe it will not happen every day, but the one that I would do every day is 1 exercise. Of course, it can go a long way, and over time you can improve your breathing. Same thing with meditation. 5 minutes of meditation can be a big step forward, which can build into 20 and 30 minutes. I know over the years, people developed a 1 or 2 hours meditation practice starting from 5 or 10 minutes. In the beginning, I was speaking about how meditation is maybe we can consider this an empty state of mind. Now, Antonio spoke about how meditation happens in the body and not the mind. I think ultimately we can, it is more a matter of working with the words as opposed to a real split. But whichever way you want to see it, I would say that, you want to be having a reference point. And I will speak, this is the third thing that I want to bring up when it comes to meditation, about the reference points that may be useful. But that's not to confuse. So speaking about breath and meditation, I don't want you to confuse that when you breathe light, when you breathe in a LSD, as Patrick mentions, way, that you are meditating. But this would be potentially a way that you can either enter meditation or you can sustain and make sure that you are meditating. So it would be a checkpoint. Imagine, like, for example, that you want to make sure like your window is sealed and nothing gets in the same way that your brain is sealed and no thoughts come in. Of course, you can check the window and touch all along it, or you can just lean towards it and feel if there is any breeze coming in. And of course, if there is any wind coming in, you know that there are cracks. The same thing can happen with your breath. You can use your breath to make sure that it is calm, soft, regular. And as a result, you know that you are in meditation. And the third thing that I would like to say, and then I would like to leave the last part of the presentation for questions, is that sensations. So sensations is something that a lot of the times we tend to I find anyway, I emphasize in our society. We chase sensations, we change different states or emotional states. But that's not where I'm coming from here. There is I bet that all of those of you that have meditated have felt some tingling sensation in your forehead, maybe some tingling sensation in your hands, maybe some drowsiness or heaviness. And it has to do with the same way that the nervous system will be firing. And there are, of course, many studies and that have been done, scanning the brain of meditators, from monks to amateur meditators to people that never meditate. And they tried to ask them to sit still for like an X amount of time. And they found very different neurological pathways being firing and different brain waves in each group. These brain waves, these different states, manifest in different sensations. So it's not a matter of feeling ecstasy or euphoria or like hallucinations that, some breathing techniques potentially end up driving the participants in. But it's still a state that will be calm, will be serene, and will be something that you can seek, you can use as a reference point. I like to use the reference point because especially when we're starting out, and I consider myself a beginner, we need to know that we are doing right. We need to know that we have arrived there. And also we need to know that some days it's harder. Those of you that have been meditating, I would imagine some days found meditation harder and some days easier. In the same way that you found some days breathing harder and some days breathing easier, right? Which potentially was affected by how much you have eaten, potentially was affected by how stressed you were or how well you have slept. So this was the third thing. So just to reiterate, number one, start small, build it up. Don't underestimate the importance of 3 or 5 minutes of meditation on a regular basis. Number two, the breath is a way to check in with yourself. And number three, use whatever reference points you develop. When I was guiding my son, I was teaching my son, he's now 10 years old, but he was 8. He was feeling sometimes sensation in his fingers and he was saying, "Oh, Dad, I was able to meditate today. Oh, today it was very hard for me to meditate. I could not get the same feeling that I was getting other times." I hope that that helps. These are just some things that I found useful when I'm instructing, and of course from my own practice. I know a few of you have asked that if the recording will be available. As you've seen, I've been thrown out and in of this call many times. I've been trying to save the recordings, but if we get the recordings, we will make it available on Oxygen Advantage YouTube channel. I don't know if Antonio is still around. I hope he is.
Yes, I am here.
All right, I could not see.
I like very much the approximation you have to meditation. I agree with you with many things. And meditation is an state. It's our natural state, but we have to record it. And at the beginning, it's a practice. It's the practice to learn to do nothing, just nothing. And it's so difficult for us. For Western people, it's so difficult to do nothing. Yeah. So at the beginning, you have to create a stable platform in your body, your breathing, to let that state to appear in yourself, okay? So it's so beautiful you said. I like it so much.
Are there any questions? So there is a question for you, Antonio, from Alex. I will read it for you and you can answer. So the question is, which inhale-exhale ratio you recommend for Zazen? Doing 20 minutes each morning?
Okay, I think the idea is to bring you in a quieting and stillness mode, so your breathing is going to calm down. Okay? Anastasia is there?
I'm here. I was thrown out.
Okay. Can you, if you want to expand the answer or to?
No, I'm sure you did. I heard part of it. There is another question for you by Alan asking, which hand position changing state did I hear that a large percentage of the brain is dedicated to the hand? And if so, what percentage?
Yeah, it's a neurological thing. So, posture of your hands have an effect on your body, on your breathing, on your nervous system. There are a lot of mudras for that. I think the basic one is to have the hands face up. Just do that, helps to breathe better, okay?
Okay. There was a question in regards to the study that I mentioned that puts people in different states. It's not a specific study. I think there are many. So I have come over across tons of them. I think the best, so I don't have a specific reference for you to forward, Alban. If you just go on Google Scholar or PubMed and type meditation, mental states or meditation brainwaves, I think you will come to see many that confirm that. I think it would be surprising to find any that didn't confirm that, but I don't have one specific one. It's dozens and dozens that prove that. There is another question. What about moving meditation? Any thoughts on that? Trying to incorporate it in all aspects of life. Would you like to answer that, Antonio?
I prefer you answer that because I didn't understand the first part of the question. Sorry.
It's your thoughts on, or our thoughts on moving meditation. So what, how trying to incorporate it in all aspects of life.
Yeah, that's so important. It's, in many traditions, moving meditation is part of the training. In yoga, for example, in Zen meditation. But we have to train to stop, to do nothing, because we have to have the ability just to be moving, to be in action, and the ability to stop and to do nothing. Okay, so I think you are so accustomed to be moving. It's easy, okay, but if you want to really meditate while moving, you must be first be capable of be quiet and meditating. Okay, if you cannot stop yourself to be quiet while sitting, while you are not moving, you cannot meditate when you are moving. Okay.
I would, yeah, I would agree. I would probably put it a little bit more bluntly. What I think Antonio was trying to say is that basically someone that cannot comfortably meditate in stillness, I think they are just fooling themselves by moving and meditating. It's very easy to move and run, and it goes back to what I was saying in the beginning. For many people, they will claim that running is their meditation, boxing is their meditation, and having sex is their meditation. But is they really meditating, or they are just boxing, running, and having sex? It's one thing being in euphoria and having in a good mental state, and another thing, stop the mind or being in this empty state of mind. And I don't think that there is anything wrong with any of the actions that I said before. Boxing is fantastic. I love watching it. I like to run. But there are techniques, I believe, and Osho has done some, and there are many others that they incorporated some techniques to get into the state of meditation. And that's also wonderful. So there are many things. Are there people that they were able to move and not think? Potentially. I have not been one of them. I think we should be careful about what we claim is possible and not start creating shortcuts when in reality we're avoiding really doing the work. Because ultimately anything that is valuable, including meditation, requires some time and dedication. Antonio has been meditating for 30 years. It's not, he didn't do it as a side hobby. He didn't do it whenever he felt like. He did it for 30 years, like, because he believed in the value. So anyway, I think Lucas that joined, who actually, Lucas is Antonio's son, and he's the one that has the presentation on posture that Antonio referred to, and you can look it up. It just said that we are running out of time. Fingers crossed that we managed to gather enough material from this presentation so that we can make it available for people to watch again. We had obviously technical problems, but these sometimes cannot be, we have to live with them. Thank you everybody that joined us today. Thank you very much, Antonio.
Thanks to you, Anastasis, for the invitation. This is my first time doing this in English. It was very challenging for me, but was I enjoyed it. Okay, thank you so much.
Likewise. Thank you very much, everybody.
I like you so much. I am, and I recommend very much breathing for yoga. Amazing. I did it. Very good.
Excellent. Thank you very much, guys. Again, good night, good morning, depending on where in the world you are. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye, everybody. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a nice evening.